Without any further ado, I'd like to invite Ray Comfort to explain why he believes God does exist. Ray?
Most people believe the existence of God can't be proven. It's all a matter of faith, but I disagree. I believe God's existence can be proven absolutely scientifically without even mentioning faith. And before we do so, let's define the word scientific. It comes from a Latin word scientificus, which means producing knowledge. To prove God's existence, we could look at subjects such as entropy, cosmology, biochemistry, relativity, or quantum mechanics. While they're fascinating subjects, what we want to do tonight is confine ourselves to what the Greeks called beautiful simplicity. We'll be simply producing knowledge by looking at three irrefutable evidences for God's existence. And I'd like to begin by looking at creation. I'd like to share with you a theory I have of where the Coca-Cola can may have come from. Billions of years ago, there was a massive explosion in space. No one knows what caused the explosion. It just kind of happened. It was a big bang, and from this big bang issued a huge rock. And on top of the rock was found this brown, sweet, bubbly substance. And over millions of years, aluminum crept up the side, formed itself into a lid, and then a tab. And then millions of years later, red paint and white paint fell from the sky and formed itself into the words Coca-Cola Classic. 12 fluid ounces. Original formula. You say, what are you doing? You're insulting my intellect. And so I am. You know, if the Coca-Cola can was made, there must be a maker. If it's designed, there must be a designer. To believe this happened by sheer chance is to move into an intellectual free zone. Listen to what two of the greatest scientific minds in history said about the design and creation. Sir Isaac Newton. The most beautiful system of the sun, the planets, and comets could only proceed from the counsel and dominion of an intelligent and powerful being. Albert Einstein, he said, in the view of such harmony in the cosmos, which I, with my limited human mind, am able to recognize, there are yet people who say there's no God. And then he added this statement, but what makes me really angry is that they quote me to support such views. It really is very simple. Let me show you what I mean. When I look at this building, how do I know there was a builder? You can't see him, hear him, touch him, taste him, or smell him. I mean, what evidence is there was a builder? Well, the building is absolute 100% scientific proof there was a builder. You can't have a building without a builder. I don't need faith to believe in a builder. All I need is eyes that can see and a brain that works. You say that's not scientific, because for something to be scientific, it must be able to be verified through repeatable testing in controlled conditions in laboratory. Well, this same principle works with paintings and painters. When I look at a painting, how can I know there was a painter? Well, the painting is absolute 100% scientific proof there was a painter. You can't have a painting without a painter. I don't need faith to believe in a painter. All I need is eyes that can see and a brain that works. And as I said, you might say, well, that's not scientific. What you need is a controlled laboratory testing. It needs to be observed. Okay, we could put a dozen scientists in a laboratory and tell them to observe this painting. And I'm sure after a while they would come to the conclusion that there was a painter that painted the painting. We could repeat the experiment again and again, and they'd obviously come to the same conclusion. Why? Because the painting is absolute observable proof there was a painter. And exactly the same applies with the existence of God. How do we know God exists? You can't see him, hear him, touch him, taste him, or smell him. Well, creation is 100% scientific proof there was a creator. You cannot have a creation without a creator. You don't need faith to believe in a creator. All you need is eyes that can see and a brain that works. Could I ever convince you that my car had no maker? I say, hey, do you like my new car? And you say, what a beautiful car. What make is it? I say, oh, it didn't have a make. It fell together at the back of our yard. It took millions of years. You say, come on, what make is it? You see, you can see it's been made with purpose in mind. It has a windshield for you to look out of to see where you're going. It has windshield wipers to keep the windshield clean. It has little squirters to keep things lubricated. And look at the human body. You have a windshield to see where you're going. This windshield, these eyes that we take for granted, have 137 million light-sensitive cells. The focusing muscles in the eye move an estimated 100,000 times a day. Man has never invented a camera lens anywhere near as intricate as the human eye. You have windshield wipers that don't go and get on your nerves. They go so fast you don't see it happen. Yours have worked, irrespective of your will, probably 40 times since I began speaking. You've got little squirters in here to keep things lubricated. We call them tear ducts. Or think of this air conditioner we've got, called the nose. Has a backup system in case this gets blocked through the mouth. Or think of the design of the human ear. Look where they're positioned on my head to capture sound. They've even got little grooves to feed the sound down into the brain, that incredibly complex computer system. Or consider the marvel of the human hand, the respiratory system, the nervous system, or the complex reproductive system and the entire animal kingdom, both male and female. So just as I don't need faith to believe in a builder because I have the building as evidence, I don't need faith to believe in a creator because I have this incredible, marvelous creation of evidence. All I need is eyes that can see and a brain that works. The invisible things of Him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made. Now, if I want the builder to do something for me, then I need to have faith in Him. And the same applies with God. If I want God to do something for me, then I need to have faith in Him. He that comes to God must first believe that He is, or that He exists, and He's the rewarder of those that diligently seek Him, for without faith it is impossible to please Him. So there is a difference between an intellectual belief in God's existence and putting your trust in Him, your faith in Him. So how does an atheist deal with such rational logic? Why, what he does is he becomes unreasonable and puts himself above it and says, that's just painting Peter, it's beneath me. He puts himself on an intellectual pedestal.